Pokémon Home compatibility will be available soon for Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, and this will give us access to some Pokémon from past generations that are not currently obtainable in the games right now. In this video I want to go over the top 5 Pokémon for competitive singles that are returning to Gen 9. Keep in mind that this is my opinion. If you disagree, let me know why in the comments below. Also, this list will not include Pokémon that were banned to the Uber-tier last generation like Magearna and Spectrier. With that being said, let's get into the top 5. First though, I went to the John Wick 4 movie last night, and John Wick himself actually left a message in the movie for all of you guys watching right now. Crazy, right? Let me play it out.
Hi guys, it's me, John Wick. While I'm killing all these guys, you should like this video and subscribe to the rozepanter channel if you are new. Also, you're breathtaking, don't forget that.
I mean, thank you, John Wick. Shout out Mr. Wick though, shout out Mr. Wick. For the number 5 position, I have Zapdos. Zapdos has an amazing defensive typing with electric flying. Its flying type completely negates its weakness to ground, giving Zapdos all the defensive benefits of electric without the weakness to ground. This typing gives it 5 resistances and already mentioned immunity, which is lacking in the metagame right now, while only being weak to rock and ice. Its great defensive typing is further boosted by its good bulk, and it has great offensive stats too. Its ability Static is amazing as well, being able to punish physical attackers and U-turn spammers that dare to touch it, which pairs nicely with its defensive capabilities. These qualities have made Zapdos a staple in the competitive singles ever since its introduction in Generation 1, besides its slight downfall in Gen 5. Zapdos has been nerfed in Gen 9 due to losing some key moves like Defog and Weather Ball. Defog enabled Zapdos to remove hazards, and Weather Ball gave it a powerful coverage move on rain teams. Despite the nerfs, Zapdos is still a great defensive Pokémon that can check dangerous physical attackers like Meowscarada, Great Tusk and Dragonite, while still having the option to be used as an offensive rain abuser with powerful step moves like Thunder and Hurricane, and it could even use Terra Water with Terra Blast to make up for the loss of Weather Ball. Zapdos does face some competition from Corviknight since it's not weak to Stealth Rock and still has Defog, but despite the nerfs, I think Zapdos still will remain a viable option in Gen 9 competitive singles. For the number 4 I have Slowking Galar. Slowking Galar has great defensive stats and the ability Regenerator, which heals up 30% of its health when it switches out. This makes Slowking Galar a very active special pivot with decent offensive potential, as it does have a solid special attack set at 110 and great coverage moves with Sludge Bomb, Psychic, Flamethrower, Surf and Ice Beam. This separates Slowking Galar from other special walls like Clodsire and Toxapex. Regenerator and an Assault Vest allow Slowking Galar to act as a blanket check to dangerous special attackers like Walking Wake, Iron Valiant and Hatterene, while being able to threaten them back and being very difficult to switch into because of its great coverage. Slowking Galar did receive a nerf as it no longer has access to Scald. Scald was a great move as it allowed Slowking Galar to hit Heatran and ground types like Landorus T for super effective damage on the switch and cripple them and other switch-ins with a potential burn. However, to make up for this, Slowking Galar has now access to the move Chilly Reception, which is a huge buff as last generation it did not have teleport like regular Slowking. This gives Slowking Galar some versatility as it can now choose to run an Assault Vest set or a set with Slack Off and Chilly Reception. Chilly Reception pairs well with Future Sight to support wall breakers, just like it did back in Gen 8. One of these wall breakers was Urshifu Rapid Strike, which leads me into my number 3 spot on this list. Urshifu Rapid Strike was a very good wall breaker back in Gen 8 OU, because of its great offensive stats with 130 attack and its average speed stat at 97 base. Great offensive typing with water fighting and powerful step moves like Surging Strikes and Close Combat, allowing Urshifu to force switches and threaten common walls like Corviknight and Mandibuzz while providing momentum with U-turn. Its ability Unseen Fist is a good addition as well, enabling Urshifu to attack through preventing Pokemon like Rotom Wash and Garganacl from scouting Choice Band sets. Urshifu can easily threaten and force out common walls in Gen 9 like Unaware Clodsire, Skeledirge, Garganacl and Great Tusk, not to mention that Urshifu has a strong priority move with Choice Band Aqua Jet, making it a good at revenge killing faster Pokemon like Volcarona and Iron Moth. Urshifu also received some buffs in Gen 9, with the biggest one being Swords Dance added to its move pool, further boosting its high attack stat. It also received the moves Ice Spinner and Trailblaze. Urshifu can also make use of the Punching Glove item, giving it a 10% boost to Surging Strikes while preventing passive damage from stuff like Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. It should be noted though that Punch and Glove nullifies the effect of Unseen Fist. For the second place, I have arguably the most iconic Pokémon in competitive singles, Landorus T. Landorus has historically been one of the best competitive Pokémon in the singles metagame because of its defensive typing, its great defensive and offensive stats, amazing ability, Intimidate, and expansive supportive and offensive move pool, making it incredibly versatile. These qualities make Landorus T an amazing defensive pivot that can reliably set up Stealth Rock and provide momentum with U-turn while checking physical attackers like Garchomp, Great Tusk and Cinderace, not to mention its 2 key immunities to Ground and Electric. Furthermore, Landorus T can act as a specially defensive pivot as well, being able to soft check dangerous special attackers like Golden Go and Dragapult while still checking the physical attackers mentioned earlier. Landorus also has the option to run an offensive set with Swords Dance and can act as a late game cleaner while providing speed control with Choice Scarf. There are a couple of reasons I did not place Landorus T on number 1, and that's because it has been nerfed quite a bit. Landorus T lost Defog, which could be used as an alternative over Stealth Rock if the team already had a Stealth Rock setter. It also lost Toxic, which was a vital option to cripple switch-ins and defoggers like opposing Landorus T, Zapdos and Buzzle. And it lost Knockoff, which it could use as an alternative to Toxic to cripple opponents by knocking off key items like Leftovers and Heavy Duty Boots. Landorus T also faces heavy competition from the newly introduced Great Tusk, which is crowned the Landorus T of Gen 9, as it does the same thing, but it can still remove hazards with Rapid Spin and cripple opponents with Knockoff. Before I move on to the number 1 returning Pokémon in my opinion, I want to give an honorable mention to Regieleki. Regieleki was not a great Pokémon in Gen 8 OU, but it's getting a huge buff in Gen 9, as it can now use Terrestrialization with Terra Blast Ice to give itself an amazing coverage move to hit ground types, which was the main problem with Regieleki in the past. This gives Regieleki perfect coverage with Bolt Beam and will definitely make it a big threat in the metagame and might potentially get banned as a result. This also happened in Gen 9 National Decks, but that's an entirely different metagame. For the number 1 spot, I have Heatran. Heatran has set a name for itself in the overview tier throughout the generations with its amazing set of traits. Heatran has amazing stats with great bulk and good offensive stats as well. Heatran's bulk is supported by its great defensive typing, immunity to fire because of its ability Flash Fire, and expansive supportive move pool, making it a great wall breaker and stall breaker as it is very hard to deal with defensively. Heatran is a great check to dangerous special attackers like Dragapult, Golden Go, Volcarona, Hatterene, Skeledurs and Iron Mod and potentially even more. Heatran's combination of Magma Storm, Earth Power and Taunt make it very difficult to switch into, as it allows it to trap defensive walls that are supposed to check it like Toxapex and Slowking. With an Air Balloon, Heatran can even completely wall Pokemon that would be a great switch to it like Clodsire and Ting-Lu, lacking Urination. Since Heatran forces many switches against offensive and defensive Pokemon, it's an excellent stealth rocker as well. Heatran did however receive 2 nerfs as it lost Toxic, which was a great move to cripple and chip down a Pokemon it could trap, and it lost Eruption, making it a significantly worse offensive option. Despite this, Heatran still remains a blanket check to a lot of special attackers and a great wall and stall breaker with its weapon capabilities. I've made separate videos too on all of the Pokemon mentioned in this video and how they will perform in Gen 9. So if you want to learn more about the specific Pokemon, I will link these videos in the description below. There are some great Pokemon from past generations that I haven't mentioned and will be returning as well, like Tornadus Therian, Volcanion, Hoopa Unbound and Moltres Galar. While I think these Pokemon are good, I don't think they will be as good as the Pokemon mentioned in this list. I also don't see Pokemon that were previously banned to the Ubers tier, like Urshifu Single Strike, Landorus Eye and Spectrier being allowed in the Gen 9 OU tier for a long time, so that's why I excluded these from the list. Also, I'm planning on making a follow-up video to this one about the top 5 Hisuian Pokemon from Pokémon Legends Arceus, since they will also be coming to Pokémon Scarlet and Violet Pokémon Home. Game Freak has confirmed some time ago that the Hisuian Pokemon are compatible with Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, with Hisuian Zoroark being one of these Pokemon that has already been made available. I think this will definitely be an interesting list, since these Pokemon have not been available to use outside of Pokémon Legends Arceus, and this will be the first time we can use them with their signature moves in a competitive environment. Let me know if this is a list you guys want to see. Also check out my video on why Ferrothorn uses a choice band set in Gen 5 Ubers, and let me know your thoughts about this list. Thank you for watching and see you next time.